Invite group. Okay, righteous. All right, we got it set up now. So just gonna invite any and everybody I think is on that conscious wave and that spectrum of wanting to permeate love, light, knowledge, a higher vibration, growth. Did I mention love? Yeah. But just permeating out the cosmos in a way in which I feel is conducive to not only individual growth but collective growth. I feel like tapping into that source of self permits you to want to grow others. You know what I'm saying? You get light and you get love. It's only natural to want to reciprocate that love to other sources out there in the universe. You feel me? You're individually a form of consciousness, but you're a part of a conscious collective. You feel me? The great adage, the great aphorism says there's nobody above the program. So the program is the conscious collective. Pardon me for a bit while I'm sending these invites out. Much love to everybody. LaFrance, you in the building already. Much love to you, man. We about to go in. We about to go in, so bear with me. I'm just tagging all the people I think might feel this to be an apt discussion. Freestyle Friday, might I add. I know some of you niggas might be thinking, oh, he about to rap. He about to spit some. They ain't about to go in. That nigga got bars. And not quite. You feel me? I'm about to rap, but not that kind of rap. D Nice on the YouTube salute, man. We about to get it in right now. Highest of vibes. All right, I tagged enough people. We got it. We good. We good. That nigga said I forgot my boy got the Kawhi laugh. Yeah, my shit better than Kawhi, man. Don't curve me. Don't curve me already, man. You feel me? Opening album Freestyle Friday, and I'm already getting called Kawhi Leonard in this motherfucker. Nah, but much love to friends, man. You know the vibes. Before anything, before any dialogue or any discussion, I want to wish the highest of vibes to everybody. Much love, much light, and all we here to do essentially is permeate. We're here to give consciousness. We're here to spread light and receive light. You know what I'm saying? I might be the nigga on the camera, but people can come up and share this discussion with me or tap into the comment sections to expand the topic at hand. You feel me? Freestyle Friday. This is the first one. Commending all y'all. Tang, welcome to the building. Ashley, much love to you. Highest the vibes. You already know the deal. You feel me? This Freestyle Friday, well, all Freestyle Fridays will be pertaining to what's ever on my mind or y'all's mind. So essentially, that can vary. As you know how life is very, very broad, very eclectic. So it's not rigid or confined to certain topics or current events or certain subjects, but it's infinite. So I made Freestyle Friday so I can touch on anything whenever the mood strikes me. And today, what I want to talk about, conspiracy theory. Today's topic is going to be conspiracy theory. Before I touch on how it's applicable in today's construct in today's society, body what up, much love, highest the vibes. I want to give definition to the term conspiracy theory because many people get in discussions, get into dialogues, get into arguments, get into conversations without establishing pretenses to what something means. For example, you might have a discussion with somebody about love, and they might be like, "Oh, well, true love, you feel me? Like this ain't love when you do this to me." And I'm like, "No, I think that is a form of love." But you guys haven't established the pretenses on what she think love is and what you think love is. So therefore, the conversation, the communication becomes more so miscommunication because we haven't defined the terms in which we're using in this discussion. So the first thing that I want to do in the subject of conspiracy theory is I want to define the terms. And while I'm doing that, all of y'all watching, y'all can type in y'all definition or what y'all think a conspiracy theory is. You feel me? So type that in if you got any opinions or you want to Google or you want to search and give your requisite as to what a conspiracy theory is. Then we can expand the dialogue from there. But I'm gonna give y'all Google's definition. And I must preface this by saying there's a multitude of dictionaries. There's a multitude of definitions for things like conspiracy or things like theory, just depending on where you're looking. But at the essence, the words are the words because of the essential quality of the phenomena. So a theory has an essential quality. It's just when you give it to human interpretation, it becomes a little bit more arbitrary. And now uh, it's some leniency in regards to the term. People are using conspiracy theory or love or loyalty or whatever term it is in a different manner while having a discussion, coexistence. So y'all talking about the same word, but y'all not talking about the same essence. Somebody said conspiracy theorist is a better term, or conspiracy therapist is a better term because we talk them through. Righteously so. All right, so let me break it down. And I'm one of those people who it's a conspiracy and it's theory, so it's two words. So let's take each word independently and then let's see how they look. Conspiracy theory, unpopular opinions. Righteous, actually, that's an apt point. So I'll take conspiracy first, and then I'll take theory, and then I'll show you how, or I'll create my interpretation in the most rigid manner in which we can all agree and adhere. Okay, this is what a conspiracy theory is, aside from my emotions, aside from my relative biases, right? So, conspiracy, secret plan. This is what's in the Google's definition. A conspiracy is a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful, aka a plot, a nefarious plot by their definition. Now, I take to that for the most part. A conspiracy, but the thing I want to do is I want to make it even more rigid than what they said because they use unlawful and they use harmful. Now, harmful can be in the eye of the beholder. Well, one might think is harmful, another one might be like, that's not harmful. Because if you ask the conspirators when they're plotting and they're planning and they're strategizing, they might tell you, I'm doing this for the greater good. I just am doing it behind closed doors so you niggas don't panic type shit, right? So I want to make that definition a little bit more rigid. So a conspiracy, secret plan by a group to do something. Now, that's where I'll make it a little bit more rigid because unlawful, the lay of the law is different in different realms, and harmful is depending on who you're talking to. What's harmful to one may not be harmful to another one. So I'ma minimalize it to a secret plan by a group to do something. A secret plan, that's conspiracy. A secret plan to do something by a group of people. So when more than one person come together behind closed doors and strategizes to do something, they are conspiring. Theory. So we got conspiracy. You feel me? Let me bring it back. A secret plan by more than one person to do something. The unlawful and harmful that's the arbitrary nature. We're gonna stick to the rigid principles. Now, theory, supposition or a system of ideas intended to explain something, especially based on general principles independent of the idea. That's what the Google definition has. I'm gonna make that a little bit more rigid because you notice how them niggas said especially. So especially is an implication that it's super a theory when it's this way. So theories are supposition. So a belief, an ideology, uh, proposition, or system of ideas. So your thought process intended to explain something. So you're explaining the phenomena. You're explaining what happened. You're explaining what might happen when you're theorizing. So the especially when they use especially, I want you guys to pay attention to semantics because this shit is very important. When they use especially, this is an implication of what they favor in regards to a theory. But they just gave you the definition. Especially it's just an adjunctive. It's something that they added, whoever subjectively wrote this dictionary, and to implicate or indicate what they favor. So they favor a theory that's generally principled, same as me. But that don't mean that an unprincipled supposition or belief is not a theory. It's just not founded in general principles. So a theory is just how you explain something, how you explain what happened in your opinion and from your perspective. So when you combine the two, secret plan by a group to do something, that's what it means to conspire, and that's what a that's what a conspiracy is. To make a theory, to theorize, is just to explain what happened. So a conspiracy theorist is someone explaining a possible conspiracy that is going on. They're using extrapolations, whatever evidence or lack of evidence that they have to tell uh, you or to formulate an opinion on what they think is going on. An example of this would be 9/11, because later on we've realized that 9/11, the initial reports as to what happened wasn't the entire reports. So it gave evident implications that people were conspiring behind the scenes in regards to 9/11. All a conspiracy theorist is someone who's speculating as to what happened behind the scenes. I say that to say because, and then again, the essential definition, right? I say that to say we've taken the term and we've spiraled it into something in which it is not. What I mean by that is because, all right, little history lesson. Conspiracy theory was popularized in America and society with the JFK assassination. There's something called the Warren Report or the Warren Commission, right? And the Warren Commission was someone's a detailed 880-page explanation as to what happened with the JFK assassination. What they concluded is Lee Harvey Oswald killed the nigga and nobody else was involved. So that's what the general idea was. And that's what the general consensus of people even still think today, based on the Warren Commission. That's the general theory accepted. Might I add, a general theory is in contrast to, like what Ashley said, unpopular opinion or an alternative theory, an alternative viewpoint. Neither bad nor good, neither accurate. Once it's even called a theory, that means the truth is not there. The truth is elusive. Because if it was truth, if we could definitively prove and we had the videotape of all the happenings going on, we wouldn't have to theorize. We know what happened. You watch a basketball game and the Lakers win, you don't have to theorize who won the shit. It wasn't done behind closed doors. So I use that example to say, because before that time, conspiracy theories didn't have a negative connotation to it. So conspiracy theorist was more geared towards the definition in which I just gave you guys, which was okay, a secret plan by a group to do something and somebody theorizing on that secret plan, right? So when you bring it to those terms, there's no bad or good with that. That's just somebody theorizing on a potential plan behind closed doors. So what I have to ask people now, because we've transitioned to view a conspiracy theorist as negative. We denounce theories and call them conspiracy theories as if that's a viable enough deduction to do in argumentation when it's not. So it's to relinquish that emotional appeal that we have with rhetoric. So after the JFK, you feel me, the Warren Report, you got some theories being debunked. Some people will claim that Lee Harvey Oswald worked for the CIA. And in the Warren report, it was denounced that he didn't work for the CIA, and they used the term conspiracy theorist. So this is my assumption. This is my theory. Nothing grounded, nothing founded. I think from that, the vast consensus, because they used a bad conspiracy theory, because mind you, some conspiracy theories might be right on point, and some conspiracy theories might be bullshit. That's just the nature of what it is. You have to have critical thought and view them independently to assess from your deduction which one is a viable conspiracy theory and which one is not, right? So, uh, my assumption is from that point, the collective deemed conspiracy theories as like invalid arguments. And that is by definition not the case. A theory founded on a lack of principle or a lack of evidence can be called unsubstantial. You know what I'm saying? But just because someone deems it a conspiracy theory, that does not, by no means of deduction, no means of logic, no practical way of thinking, deem that to be an illogical argument. And I say that to say, as we transition, we use terms and then they get weaponized. What up, Isaiah? Much love. Much love to Kylan. I'll tap into the comments periodically. We use terms and we weaponize them because when we don't apply critical thought and when we don't define terms for ourselves, we can be manipulated by the language. So you have people like, oh, well, he's just a conspiracy theorist. People do this to dismiss your argument, regardless of how much logic you have in the argument. He's just a conspiracy theorist. But when you break down the terms, you can actually be like, okay, to conspire, to illegally plot, to secret plan by a group to do something, we can mutually concede that that does happen. or type in true if you think people secretly plan to do something. And usually the people in a position to do this are in a position of authority, in a position of power. Lex, what up? Much love. For example, parents or governments or authoritative figures have the capacity to give you a general theory as to what's what while masking the true intent and the true plan. They were conspiring. And then maybe if you are inquisitive, not everybody's inquisitive, but if you're inquisitive, you might be like, you know what? They told us this. But hold on, man. Some shit is funny about it. So I say that to say there's something called rhetorical devices. Rhetorical devices skew the language in order to manipulate you. What is rhetoric? Rhetoric is when someone is using language to persuade and influence your opinion on something. That's what rhetoric is. There's something called rhetorical arguments. So when someone uses rhetoric, language to influence or sway your opinion in their argument, and mind you, also another thing about rhetoric is it lacks deduction. It's like a slick talking nigga. Somebody who knows how to use language and is using euphemisms, innuendos, implications, and other forms of language arts because language is a fucking art. You feel me? I can say I'm over you, and y'all can't tell me what that means. You can't because it means more than one thing. I'm over you. I could be done with fucking with you, or I could literally be hovering over somebody at the moment. That's semantical ambiguity. So the way we use language is like it's a spell. It's the best way I could put it. It's a spell. You feel me? You're using words to influence somebody else's opinion. So when it's not based on deduction or logic or reasoning, or like they said with the theory, principle, general principles, then likely it's rhetoric. I say that to say to go all the way back to the term conspiracy theory. When somebody says, you're a conspiracy theorist, to try to dismiss your argument, they're not using logic. They're using rhetoric. What type of rhetoric? All right, well, you got euphemisms and you got dysphemisms. A euphemism is when you say something in a manner that kind of soothes the essence of something to the public. So, for example, we got our military vets. Shout out to the military vets. We will call them freedom fighters. We will call them war heroes, right? But in them other lands, what do you think they're calling them? Terrorists, killers, murderers. So in order to slice the language in the favor in which you want it to be, so people aren't inflamed and so people aren't rejecting your notion, you might say, oh, well, these are freedom fighters. One man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. One man's freedom fighter is another man's. Oh shit. Hold on. Sorry about that. Hold on. What's going on? Oh shit. Oh shit. I don't know why it went out. My bad. Sorry about that. Hold on. Facebook went out. Let me tag people back in here. My bad. Nigga done pushed something and fucking got thrown got thrown all the way off. We'll wait for y'all to get back in here and tap into the dialogue. Cause we about to start cooking with gasoline, you feel me? We about to start cooking. Man, if I wasn't the blackest caveman, I don't know who is. Get back in here. All you niggas who was back in here, get back. Come back. Like my nigga Craig told Smokey, come back, my nigga. All right, let me get a second. I'm streaming on Facebook. My boy Tibet. I always struggle pronouncing your shit. My boy Tibanet, you feel me, the loyalist. But I'm on Facebook. Let me read your comments while people join in here. Yes, bro, exactly. They attach negative connotation to the word conspiracy theory. Then once those connotations stick, they label something that at that label alone discredit you. Righteous, righteous, righteous. My bad to the Facebook. My shit. I tried. Somebody wanted to add me. I tried to add the nigga, and then they closed me down. But back to the main point. Conspiracy theory, right? And one's I don't know where was I at? Oh, euphemisms and dysphemisms. So like a euphemism, like I said, one person's freedom fighter is another person's terrorist. Or you might have another euphemism like uh Planned Parenthood, for example. Before it was called Planned Parenthood, it was just called Birth Control Review. And another way to call Planned Parenthood would be abortion clinics. But because abortion clinics or birth control facility might appear more inflammatory, someone might be slick enough to slice the language to where it's more soothing. Planned Parenthood. Look at our association to something that's planned. Okay, if you plan it out, okay, that's cool. Okay, parenthood. So the association to these things are implicitly positive, right? So you have these uh uh, implications through words that can sway you to not seeing the essence, but seeing what they want you to see through the language. So a dysphemism, today's dysphemism, because how we associate conspiracy theory would be you're a conspiracy theorist. A dysphemism is when you use a term to negate one's position, or you use a term to downplay You know what I'm saying? Talk badly against it. Another dysphomism again would be terrorists or uh, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a fool. You feel me? Calling somebody a fool or is different methods of rhetorical devices. You feel me? You have loaded questions. You have uh, weasels. You have so many different things that it just can go through the list. But I say that to say rhetorical devices and rhetoric, it's it's a trick. It's a trick to veer the critical thinker, well, not to veer the critical thinker, but to veer the person who does not use critical thinking and to cajole them into believing uh, witchcraft, essentially. As someone who's practiced writing, I've learned how to disseminate and give messages and lighten the load or heavy the load. Create a bias in which it's not essentially there, but I'm making it in a language to where I will have you gravitating and aligning with my biases through again slick talk. Who's some slick talking ass niggas? Media is some slick talking ass niggas. A pimp is a slick talking ass nigga. Pimp might not tell you no truth. But a pimp might give you rhetoric all day and then manipulate you into believing and thinking something is real when it's actually there's no proof or no evidence towards the real in the situation. So just something to be mindful of. Another thing I want to talk about is who conspires. Again, like I said, authoritative figures have the capacity to conspire for two reasons. A general theory that you're going to accept usually is going to come from an authoritative figure. For example, your mom. Some of y'all moms and dads right now, y'all be conspiring. Y'all don't even know it. Y'all be conspiring against y'all kids, which is why I took the unlawful and harmful method out of it and I made it more rigid in regards to a secret plan by a group to do something. And I'll give you an example on how you niggas conspire. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Santa Claus is coming to town. So you might tell your parents, I mean, you might tell your kids, hey, you want to be nice? Yeah, hey, Santa Claus don't like when you behave a certain way. If you act this way, you're not gonna get any gifts from Santa. So this is professed to the kid. This is the general truth you're giving to the kid that Santa Claus comes down a fucking chimney and provides gifts to people. So this is the general theory. But let's say you feel me, you got one kid who inquisitive. You got a couple kids. One of these kids is inquisitive. So one kid believes Santa is coming. You feel me? And another kid like, I don't know, man. I don't know if no fat white nigga sliding down our chimney, man. We ain't even got enough room. And then they might stay up late and they might shit go through the room, go through your back compartment and see gift wrap and see gifts. Go back to their brother and be like, hey man, hold on. Hey. Your kid now has a theory. Hey man, I don't think Santa get us gifts. The other brother who believed the shit, like, oh man, hold on, man. Nah, man, you a conspiracy theorist. But the fact of the matter is, the parents were conspiring because they were doing a secret plan by a group, mama and daddy, to do something. And what is that they're doing? They're buying the presents. They're putting them under their tree and they're creating the illusion that Saint Nick and Santa Claus is doing it. So this is manipulation. And the kid who speculates, hey man, mama and daddy get them gifts. They're the ones theorizing on the conspiracy. And in this case, they just happen to be right. Like I said, some conspiracy theories are valid and are principled, and some conspiracy theories might be bullshit. Somebody might tell you the earth is a cube. I don't care about niggas' opinions no more because an opinion is a part of rhetoric. So you can say anything with rhetoric. You can slice and say anything you want with rhetoric because it is not principled in deduction. So you tell me the world is a cube, good, cool, whatever. I want to know why you think that. And if you provide me the grounds and you provide me with deductive reasoning for me to see your opinion then your opinion to me becomes fortified. I'm like, okay, that's a sound opinion, sound take. But if you can't provide no deduction, you can't provide nothing that I can see on the surface for myself to validate your opinion. Oh, that's a bullshit opinion. You just have an opinion. We in this world today where, because of social media, the public square has become so vast, everybody got an opinion, which is fun. Everybody always had an opinion, but now everybody got an opinion that they feel they need to express. However, we have to separate rhetoric from sound argumentation. It's okay to have an opinion, but you must know that your opinion is just an opinion if you don't have grounds to stand on. You feel me? So I think it's important for us to know that an opinion is in the realm of rhetoric. Righteous, righteous, righteous. And I made a couple of little notes of on some things that I wanted to touch on. Rhetorical devices being one of them. The history, and then something you should always know when I say who conspires. People on the inside conspire, while the outside looking in are the ones who theorize. So you can only have the capacity to conspire because you wasn't in them doors. You wasn't having them private conversations. You're on the outside. So a nigga like me, when referencing the government and the media and what they propose to us, I would be somebody to make a theory as to the potential conspiracy. Because if they're giving me information and I check and through my process of deduction, I might not theorize. I'm like, shit, that's valid. I don't have to go to that realm of. I'm always the skeptic in me is always gonna check it though. I think that's another thing that needs to be noted. A lot of people accept the general theory as truth. And in fact, general theory becomes truth. That's what an objective reality is. We live on an electromagnetic spectrum where we can only perceive a certain bit of light. So we have to come to an agreement as to what things are, as to what happened, past, present. You feel me? Past, present, and future. So when coming to and making these agreements, we have to always realize, yes, this is the prevailing theory. Right now, round earth is the prevailing theory in society, which is cool with me. I can't tell you what it is. I would uh remain in the realm of theory and that shit until I see something that can definitively lead me to believe or lead me to assert that the round earth or the flat earth or whatever it is more so facticity than theory, but I ain't there yet. You feel me? But prior to the round earth being the general theory, hundreds of years ago, ancient African societies, flat earth was the theory. So we got to remember a general theory is not the truth. It could be if we do the process of deduction and we search and research and figure out whether that theory is the most viable one or whether there's so much truth to that theory that the other theories they come as a consequence subordinate, then yeah, no, that's the prevailing theory. But in today's society, we take general theory and we call it truth. And to me, that's a sin. Because ain't no theory truth. Once something is established as truth, theorizing is over. Theorizing goes out the door. Feel me? That's another important. And then with rhetoric, you got fallacies. So we're talking about who conspires. We're talking about authoritative figures, and then we can get in the realm of rhetoric and fallacy. So a lot of people have a fallacy of appealing to authority. Just because your mom told you Santa Claus is real, you think it's real. That's a fallacy. You feel me? Because that's not processing deduction. That's just using your relative biases of, oh, well, she's a teacher, so she must be telling me the truth. They're the media and they're showing me this on the news. Why would they lie? They should tell the truth. Just a fallacious way of viewing shit. And then I wanna touch on a couple of more things. And then after I touch on the essential points, we can get into the realm of specific conspiracy theories, or we can ask questions, or y'all could cam up and just offer y'all's perspective on what's what. Theorizing on past references, like I said, the JFK or 9/11. The fact is, the truth is what happened. Principles, 2 plus 2 equals 4, laws of the universe. Yeah, the truth is what happened. So 9/11, be it that it happened, there's a truth to it. It's just from our positions, we can't entirely uncover the truth because we don't have all the variables. We don't have all the information present. So people have to understand when we're theorizing in past reference, it's trying to uncover the truth. And where we could theorize in future reference too. Like tomorrow, I could be like, all right, if I run 3/4 speed continuously the whole run for my mile, I'm gonna do it in about 6:29. Scientifically, that's me theorizing. Whether or not it's sound is based on the deductive evidence we have present. Have I ran like that before? Do I have evidence of me going under 6 minutes and 30 when I go at what I believe to be 3/4 speed? Oh, yeah, he does have evidence doing that. So, this theory, from my deduction, okay, that's a pretty sound theory. And then you have unsound predictions. All right, well, shit, same scenario. I'm gonna run if I do 3/4 miles, if I do 3/4 miles, I'll run it in 4:50. And it's like, okay, well, your process of deduction has to be better because no evidence shows that that theory is going to be an accurate one. So you can theorize in the past where there's already a truth, and then you can theorize in the future where the truth is to come. And then once the truth comes, it'll show how valid or viable your theory is. And then you can theorize on the unknown, which is the coldest one to me because it's the unknown. This is where philosophy comes into play. All of y'all are implicit philosophers. You were born to inquire. You were skeptic by nature. Some of us more so than others, but skepticism, the yearning to know what's what, is inside of you. So, like with shit like, what is life? You feel me? What is this world? Who are you? What's your purpose? Existential type questions you can theorize, but you must know that doing that only uh, is conducive to your own ascension and your own growth because you will never uncover that truth in this tangible realm. The unknown is the unknown for a reason. Your theory on God is always going to be a theory on God. So why they call it belief, that's why they call it faith. So it's some theories that uh will never be proven. But if it's in the past, like if it's a situation in the past you theorizing, or if it's a future instance in which you theorizing, then there is a truth. It just sometimes it gets to the point where damn, like niggas is burning books, niggas is hiding evidence. In the 9/11 shit, there was a lot of cameras and a lot of facilities that showed or the World Trade Center and the instance that happened and how people can give an alternative theory to what they said. Maybe it was bombs in a building type shit, but that evidence got suppressed. And we don't have access to that. So now we don't have the truth in its entirety. We can only theorize. You feel me? I say that all to say, you feel me, covering the main points. I say that all to say that we can't get looped by niggas. Cause I know if y'all in here, y'all probably been called conspiracy theorists too. And if y'all in here, then I ain't the only one. We can't get looped by rhetoric. We can't get looped by fallacies. We have to learn to apply critical thought and discernment to formulate our opinions. And surprisingly, just from my experience, or not even surprisingly, but ironically, those who are willing to search for alternative theories, they end up accessing more information because if you accept the general theory, then what is there to research and what is there to look up and what is there to uncover for you? The George Floyd incident is another example. Like we got the evidence got the evidence, cop putting a knee on his neck, the visual, but I'd be remiss, me, as a skeptic, as a conspiracy theorist. Yes, nigga, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Take away the negative and positive connotation from a word, you get more out of the word. I gave you my general definition. If you accept it, then uh, it's evident that I am a conspiracy theorist because I don't always believe in the general theory. So me, as somebody questioning the general theory, it leads me to much more information. Whereas somebody who doesn't question the theory, they're stagnated at that point of reference. They found their truth. There's nothing else to uncover. There's nothing else to discover. So I say that to all my people out here, like, hey, if you're a conspiracy theorist, that just implies that you're a skeptic. That doesn't imply that you're wrong. That doesn't imply that you don't know what you're talking about. And when someone uses it to denounce you, that suggests, strongly suggests, that they don't know what the term conspiracy theory means. They more have a negative association based on the way it is in this epoch in this era, because uh, it was almost a noble thing to theorize about the way of the world, uh, alternatively from the general dogma that's put out there in practice, right? There's something, something you should be mindful of, and like I said, rhetorical devices. I think that's the key because conspiracy theory has been weaponized to be negative, quote unquote. But you have like innuendos, you have implications, you have other methods of rhetorical devices that prevent you from seeing shit for what it is. And like, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous game. You don't want to get mind fucked. And you have people who are good at this shit. The best writers on the planet use rhetoric. The best writers on the planet use metaphors, use analogies, use ambiguity, use loaded questions and in the form of humor, might use other tools, rhetorical analogies, rhetorical explanations. There's so many tools to language that one can slice up language so well to where you can't see the truth. It's masked. It's masked. I wrote a contract to exploit your black ass, but when you read it, it sounds like I'm just giving you bread and I'm giving you the life you want. But the ambiguous, the esoteric, the innuendos in there, in which you like, damn, I think I know what he mean. Or you might know the metaphor and not get the literal. And it's like, oh yeah, well, you didn't read your contract. No, you did read it. You just don't know the difference between uh, somebody using rhetorical devices and somebody giving you sound deduction. You feel me? Very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So next time somebody calls you a conspiracy theorist, you own it. I own that shit because like I'm a skeptic. Now, let me get in the comments. Facts niggas don't read. Man, that's very unfortunate, bro. That's very unfortunate. Because like Kyrie said, and like many people said before him, you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. And it's a shame that in our society today, I find that to be applicable. And me, I just start reading in my late 20s as far as like consistently and diligently. So like I was just like most subjects in America where I read when I was required to read in class, and I never took I never took heed to the importance of the functionality of reading, and how opposed to a movie or opposed to somebody speaking to you, you're tapping into your imaginative creative spectrum while you're depicting the words and then putting them into a, a pictorial reference in your head, and then you're like, it's just a whole different space of mental expansion. You feel me? So yeah, reading is, come on now, reading is pertinent. Other comments on the YouTube. Funny one was when U.S. admin calling that they doing in Middle East humanitarian bombing. Righteous. So one of my loyalists, my YouTube loyalists, points out uh, euphemism. Humanitarian bombing. Humanitarian bombings. Because it's for, if you're a humanitarian, you're a good nigga. If somebody is doing it for the sake of being a humanitarian, then you can justify a bombing. I'll give you another one. Slavery in 11th grade, Miss Stein class. Most of y'all Eastsiders, I had Miss Stein 11th grade government slavery in the textbooks. In the textbooks, it was called a necessary evil. So you even attaching necessary to that phrase to define slavery, necessary evil, you're creating a euphemism to convince some subjects to believe that damn slavery wasn't that bad. It wasn't. Yeah, and then but the actuality of slavery is exploitation, no wages, lashings, killings, hanging, uh, ethnocide as well as genocide. So like, but when people write this shit down, and that's how the people today have obtained and continue to keep their power. They use language and manipulation to skew our minds from the truth. That's a very good example, man. Fucking, it's so many more examples. The new normal. The new normal. Just listen to it. I can't say I always know rhetorical devices when I see them, but a lot of the times, like the truth and grounds, it sticks out better than a rhetorical device or somebody trying to skew the language. The new normal. Now, if you know humans like I know humans, again, this is my surmise. A lot of humans are not privy to change. A lot of humans might not want to change. It might be a difficult process to change and get out their routine or habit. So, from my assertion, in that when the shots was being employed and the jab and the social distancing, the whole 2020 2021 fucking phenomena, it wouldn't have been conducive to call that shit change. Change is happening right now. Some niggas will start running. Oh fuck, these niggas talking about change. But if I want to create a euphemism, if I want to soothe over the transition of the paradigm, because a paradigm is shifting when you're talking about social distancing. You're talking about masks. You're talking about mandatory jabs. You're talking about not being able to sit next to your family in restaurants. You're talking about change. But somebody who's a very good writer, equipped with rhetorical devices, they sitting back there, hey, call that shit a new normal. Call it a new normal, they'll accept it better. Normalcy, you're comfortable with normalcy. There's nothing new about normal. There is nothing new about normal. That is a paradox and a contradiction and a euphemism. But a lot of people, so I see people use it in their fucking daily rhetoric. Oh, man, it's just a new normal now, huh? Like, fuck that. This is change. I'm the nigga. I'm gonna tell you how tell it what it is. Like, no, what was normal, what was happening in that paradigm. This is now change. You're not finna get me with euphemisms because I'm a critical thinker. I'm not somebody who's gonna be whim by the way of your rhetoric or how you talking to me. Like, you better come with some grounds or some foundation to your statements. But I will say this: like, we're humans. We're humans. We have discussions. Like, we talking shit. Like, I use rhetoric. Oh man, you like LeBron? Only a fool will fuck with LeBron over Kobe. I might say some shit like that in just casual dialogue type shit. But if we are really establishing a formidable argument and grounds, rhetoric has to go by the wayside while we use deductive reasoning, while we use logic. You know what I'm saying? While we might mention moments from Kobe or from LeBron, we might mention the statistics. We might reference games, evidence to support our claim, rather than rhetoric. Oh man, LeBron a fat nigga. I joke. I give rhetoric all the time, so I'm not saying like rhetoric is just the devil. Like, if you if you write enough and you become slick with the shit, rhetoric is gonna be one of your best tools. But what's normal to the spider is chaos to the fly. Mm. Aha! I like that too because that shows you like it shows you the relativity of shit when we talking and when we're observing shit. Order, one's order is also another's chaos. One's order is also like, and we get in single file line in America. It's places I believe in the Middle East. I'm not sure. Anything I say, don't just take my word on it. Go look up rhetorical devices. Go look up conspiracy theory. Go look up the Warren Report. Anything I've ever said in here, don't just take my word on it. As a critical thinker, you shouldn't take nobody's word on shit. You should always explore and research and do your own deductions to formulate your own opinion because you were gifted with autonomy. You were gifted with cognition. You were gifted with the ability to use reasoning, not just to have an opinion because you alive and you're a human and you have the right to an opinion. That's cool. Or you have an opinion just because you feel this way. That's cool too. But you were gifted with discernment. So I'll be the first to tell you, don't just trust what I say, but uh order, single file line is order in America. Whereas in other regions, when the shit open up, the order is to just burst in and go get what you, that's order. So it shows you the arbitrary nature of phenomena and how we use words differently to describe the same phenomena. All right, back in the comments. Forgive me because I'm one of those niggas that y'all know. Lex, Ash, my boy T Nate from YouTube. I ramble, so I'll always get back to the comments. And just got told last week we having workforce adjustment, new language for we firing a bunch. Exactly, exactly. What does it say? We're downsizing. That's a that's a cute way to say you firing a nigga. Or we're gonna do some downsizing, and then you gotta see like, oh, like okay. And when you understand rhetorical devices and the manipulation, niggas can't really hit you with the okey doke as much. If you don't, you getting hit with the okey doke left and right. Like, oh shit, downsizing. Oh, that shit sound cool. All right, we'll go home and shit. They downsizing. I don't know what it mean to down. Don't know what it mean to downsize, but they say when they downsize, take your ass to work tomorrow and like, look, we letting you go. What the fuck? Yeah, we just told you we was downsizing. Or we just told you work. We need workforce adjustments. Hey man, hey, they not playing. They not playing. And I'll say one thing, like, because you have the human interpretation, but again, these words are used to express the nature of shit, the essence of shit. So regardless of a human's interpretation and the rhetoric, you have to look at the thing that you're observing, and you have to depict what's the essence. What's the essence of downsizing? What does it mean to downsize? Oh, you're lowering your capacity of work. Oh, you firing it. So, like a critical thinker, when they hear downsizing or workforce adjustments, they're gonna know the essence of what they're talking about, regardless if they use firing, workforce adjustments, or downsizing. The essence is all the same. Y'all firing niggas. You letting niggas go. We move into a smaller building. Righteous. Righteous, righteous. Euphemisms and dysphemisms is the, I can't say the coldest because there's so many rhetorical devices that you can go all day. You feel me? Like all day. Nigga dumber than a bucket of shrimp. Or how about this? Like there's something called a proof surrogate to where, and people do this a lot. Like y'all read this a lot. Proof surrogate get niggas more than, if you don't know what it means, you're gonna get got a lot of the time. So it's like studies show that, or studies prove, forget studies show, because studies do show, they show something, but studies prove. That's proof surrogate because they're not giving you the study, they're not giving you the science, they're not giving you the variables from which the study came from. They're just giving you study shows, whatever it may be. A single life is more happier than a married life. Studies prove. No, the fuck studies don't prove that. These specific studies from someone's observation suggest that more accurately. But a proof surrogate would be studies prove. A nigga use that on you, and you like, damn, like, shit, I must agree because studies proved it. Or somebody might use the language and be like, oh man, you don't know that, you don't know that, what kind of example I could use? Oh, like you didn't know that this was the best artist. This was the best artist today. You didn't know Lil Baby was the best. Everybody knows Lil Baby's the best artist today. Rhetoric. Unfounded rhetoric. But because they used everybody knows, they put up a proof surrogate. So the person lacking critical thought, oh shit, everybody knows. Shit. Damn, I didn't know that. But if everybody knows shit, let me go on and jump on the bandwagon and know that too. And next thing you know, these niggas, because they ain't critically thinking, oh, Little Baby is the best nigga. Everybody know that. Rhetoric be having niggas. If you're not a critical thinker, you're in danger. Whenever rhetoric is in the media, that's their best device. That's their best device. Turn on your TV or watch the news or I shouldn't even be encouraging this. For the sake of homework, pay attention to the news, pay attention to these articles and whatever general propaganda is put forth because it's propaganda. If it ain't truth, it's propaganda. And propaganda, the catalyst of propaganda is rhetoric. So pay attention to the propaganda and the rhetoric, and you'll see, damn, it's not a lot of truth in here. When the jab was coming out, exactly the phrase "Who's everybody?" Who said exactly, exactly. You gotta see. A lot of niggas be ashamed to ask questions. A lot of niggas be ashamed to ask questions, but like if you don't understand or don't ask, so who the fuck is everybody? What fucking study did you do? What's the I always want to know whenever I see studies show or studies prove what study? Because y'all could be talking about y'all could be doing a study on human cognition, but the study was done with monkeys. Oh, well, because there's similarities in the brain, and we just could do the study on the monkey and we can associate. Oh, this is what studies prove, man. You look at the science and you look at what they use to deduce, and you're like, oh shit, that didn't prove that to me. This is where discernment come to play. All right, back in the comments. Back in the comments. To piggyback off studies show, let's speak on how Egyptians and Middle Easterns have to check off their ethnicity as white when Egypt is literally in Africa. There's literally no option for Easterners or Egyptians. Righteous. And then again, you got deduction, then you got rhetoric. To even say, well, to say the opinion, to have the opinion that, for one, Middle Eastern, Egypt, they call Egypt in the Middle East. When you should know deductive reasoning, when you just look at your geographical uh, map, Egypt is in Africa. But they're already given distinction, and this is just false, or just a new way to a new term to get you to not know that Egypt is in Africa. You feel me? But you look at the map and you see, okay, Egypt, okay, is in this region, and then you got uh, all the other African nations. Oh, it's a fact that Egypt is in the continent of Africa. But you know what I'm saying? We lie and then we use rhetoric and then we mash shit. And next thing you know, people believe you got some shit like Gods of Egypt, which is propaganda. You Gods of Egypt, I think fucking the nigga from Law Abiding Citizens was in Gods of Egypt. Straight white man. But if you got deduction, you ain't gonna be fooled by that shit. The original man, the original woman walking this earth came from the motherland, which is Africa. That's anthropology. That's not our opinion. This is the anthropological reference. They found skulls, they found bones, they found history, they found tradition, they found DNA and the roots of people in Africa Egypt included, were melanated. That's deductive reasoning. So if a nigga come and tell you that an Egyptian historically is white, they're lying to you. More adequately, the white Egyptians in which they claim they're colonizers. Because again, through deduction, we know that uh, different nations, whether it be Portuguese, whether it be Spain, whether it be Belgium, they went to Africa and they, uh, again, talk about euphemisms. They might say they settled. You call killing, murdering, taking resources settling because you want to dumb it down for motherfuckers and not make them feel offended by the fact that colonizers went in there and did their stuff. So they might use the euphemisms, but more accurately, them is uh, colonialists, colonizers, rapists, killers, and all the different types of motherfucking terms to exemplify the same thing. Those would be the new. Uh, I would call it. I wouldn't call. I wouldn't even dare call them niggas African. I think African is like it's essential. Like it. Like I don't know, man. It's genetic. It's a code. Like of African descent because of the code and the origins of the people from that code. I have that same code in me. You come from the Caucasus Mountains and then you settle. I'll use you niggas terms. You settle over there. You're now a caucus member in Egypt. You're not an Egyptian. Don't try to put yourself with the pharaohs, my nigga. Lucy was found in Ethiopia. That's the truth. That's the anthropological truth from what we have uncovered. That's the prevailing theory that we can establish as the truth. Illy, what up? Righteous. First lady, big sis in the house. Zach, what up? White people even gave, oh, let me see. White people even gave her exactly. You notice how they do that shit? Hey, that shit be pissing me off too. Like, I be watching we watching Animal Planet and Nat Geo and shit. And then you talking about lions, these niggas out here, you called the lion Jack. Called the lion like nigga, no, that's not. You niggas want to whitewash everything. Righteous. The truth don't need to be supported. The truth do not need to be supported. The truth don't even need to be expanded on. Anthropology has been around and is constantly seeking to uncover the truth of human existence. And from what we've uncovered, oh yeah, the origin of species was melanated. The first people here were melanated. And they permeated throughout the lands. As far as the oldest history can go, you talk about Olmecs and you talk about Native Americans, you talk about melanated people even before the Mayans and the Aztecans. Shout out to them because I'm not saying that they are not native to the land, but there were people that preceded them. They were pre-native. Prentice, what up? Much love to you, man. Hey, man, I ain't I ain't seen her talk to you in a minute, man. Much love. You always got my respect ever since you came to the house and you came guns blazing on niggas. You feel me? Much love to you. You always got my respect. You feel me? No, ain't no fucking Lucy's in no Africa, man. Unless you're talking about a single cigarette. That's the only Lucy I know in Africa. Let me scroll down on the comments. Much love to everybody in here, man. Again, the essence of this is conspiracy theory and how the term has been transitioned today. Prior to the 1900s, conspiracy theorists was more apt to the term, as far as I know. You feel me? As far as I know. Again, I wasn't around in that time. As far as the information in which I can access, but conspiracy theory was used more aptly as it is described by the words to conspire, to secretly plan by a group to do something, and to theorize a nigga questioning or trying to explain what that secret plan is. So, and how that's transitioned today, people have used that as a tool to dismiss arguments. And that's a classic fallacy, a classic rhetorical device to veer niggas away from seeking the truth and thinking for themselves. General theories, again, like someone who accepts all general theories, not gonna lie to you, I can't trust them. I can't trust them because from my observation, it doesn't seem to me that they've used or employed their own tools of cognition to uncover the truths for themselves. You feel me? One has to question on their own, do research on their own, search and destroy type shit. You can't just every time the media say something, oh well, you hear about this. This is the new vaccine is said to be 100% healthy. Then they give you another one. Oh, this one is said to be even better than the other. You just going by every theory that they put out there to you and accepting it as the truth. I can't trust you. My nigga Wong, what's good? Much love to you, man. Highest the vibes. If I would, you know what I'm saying, give you your flowers. I see you on your journey and you have helped my journey. Just challenged my ideologies and moved in a certain way from which I can perceive is a principled manner to just help develop my consciousness. And I see you out there. You feel me? I see you on your path, your righteous path, my nigga. You feel me? Much love to you. Oh yeah, motherfuckers be gullible, man. Motherfuckers be gullible. Gullible. Hence this video. Like I think it's imperative today because we're accepting general theory more and more to where people don't care to do deductive reasoning. People don't care to uncover the truth, and a lot of people be scared of the truth. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like I know when I come post. I know when I see somebody posting and I come. I know what I'm coming with. I'm coming with deductive reasoning. I might even ask you something in the form of a question to pry out the truth of the whole situation. I might not even give you my opinion at first, but I will break it down to a point to where, okay, we're deducing what is possibly true and what's bullshit. So I know when I come on some niggas posts and some people, they're like, oh shit, here you go again. This nigga Damien, oh my fucking God. I am sick of him. You know why? Because I'm coming with deduction. And deduction is like the stepping stone of truth. And a lot of niggas is living lies right now. A lot of niggas is living lies and are willing. I know y'all seen the meme, like it's a line, you feel me? Two different lines. A comfortable lie or uncomfortable truth. Niggas is walking into that comfortable lie line because I want to feel good and I want to feel comfortable with the lie. I don't want to know the world is I don't know I don't want to know we're at war right now. I don't want to know that African people for the last 400 or 500 years have been targeted and are continuously being targeted by forces that are tangibly more powerful than the collective itself right now. Until we get critical thought, until we form a unity, until we come together and not be whim to their propaganda of divide, that force is very powerful. People don't want to hear that truth. So people are, I'd rather be told the jab works. Backed into a corner of fear, I might add. And this is no knock to anybody who did what they did and took the jab, but this is a knock if you didn't do deductive reasoning to take or not take the jab, because that's something catered towards your body, catered towards your wellness. So you shouldn't fall for propaganda, which again, on every commercial, everything I see, even still now, I'm in Vegas, I go to casino through the speaker box. They talking about getting niggas jabbed. They selling free eighth of weed if you get the jab. This is propaganda, not a lot of truth. Righteous, righteous. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know, man. If you ain't got nothing to stand on, you ain't got nothing to live for. That's how I feel. And you're moving by way of just the system. Because the system is an institution in place. I call it the hamster wheel. The system is going to function and move how it moves by way of somebody else's viewpoint and thoughts or a collective. Ironically, some niggas conspiring. So, yeah, no, as somebody who has deduction, discernment, and a sense of self, I've established principles. I've established uh, a grounds to where I'm not going to fall for the okey doke, and I'm gonna stand on certain shit if it's principle, and if it's not principle, I can't accept it. I can't ingest it. So much respect to you, much love to you too, man. You know how it is. Okay, another comment. Another tangent is political correctness. People use the term but don't ask whose politics am I pushing by following these new rhetoric rules they impose. Political correct. Even let's talk about that. That's a cute way of saying lying. Politically correct. How many of you niggas is politically correct? I'm gonna get my charger for my laptop so YouTube don't come out. But how many of you niggas are politically correct? Politically correct is a euphemism for lying. We get in these forums, you might get into the workforce and you might put on your coat, your guise of political correctness. That's a lie. Nigga, I'm Dame. And Dame thinks a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Independent of the environments around me. Yes, the environments may have helped shape my thoughts, but at the end of the day, I got a brain, and this world provides deduction for me to grab, for me to make my opinions stronger, for me to have my opinions and to turn them into beliefs because I now have grounds to them. So yeah, no, I'm not politically correct. I'm politically inappropriate. Hold on, let me get my charger. I am politically inappropriate. Political correct equals conformity. Righteous if one accepts it. If you accept any idea, you're conforming to the idea. Simple. So yeah, if anybody abiding by political correctness is conforming to the idea that's thrown out there. But to me, political correctness or being politically correct is a euphemism for lying, omitting, or finagling, or using rhetorical devices. Have y'all seen the presidential debates? They use either political correctness or straight rhetoric and slander. That nigga Donald Trump was talking about Joe Biden's son being on crack. What that got to do with the argument at hand? Jeez Louise. This is how you should think. Stay within this box. And as soon as you think otherwise, you're wrong and crazy. Again, remember, that's another tool. That's another rhetorical device. Character assassination. Timer, what's good? Much love to you. If I gotta make it subjective, funny motherfucker, and you shed light, and I know you got a lot of depth to you. Like I said, one of these days I'm gonna call you and we just gonna rap, and I just want to pick your brain and your essence. But yeah, no, look. He's crazy. Soon as the Ye incident, Kyrie, he's crazy. And not a lot of people have broken down the dialogue, the actual context where you can deduce for yourself whether or not a nigga is crazy. Go watch his interviews. Watch his interviews and formulate your opinion for yourself whether or not this perspective and this entity is crazy. But if you fall victim to propaganda and rhetoric, and niggas is using the media is so good. The media is so good. They got a conglomerate of writers who is with the shits. I take this little piece of context, throw it in you niggas' face, and then I'll deem it a certain way, and then I'll put that shit on read all day. Tell a lie 10 times, that shit gonna become the truth in society. Tell a lie 10 times, that shit's gonna become truth in society. You constantly, repeatedly tell that lie, and that's what them niggas do. And then, okay, now everybody believes this general theory of Ye being crazy. So now you might be a critical thinker. This ain't even for the niggas that can't critically think. You might be a critical thinker, but you walking into a space where they already have a general truth. And now you go around and you watch the videos yourself. You watch every Ye video to the letter, and you like, social media, like, hey y'all, you try to be nice because you know these niggas coming for you. Hey y'all, I don't think he's that crazy. Watch the devil's workers. Because to me, the devil is the one creating the structure to suppress you. The devil's workers is the citizens falling for that shit. Cause the devil don't even gotta get up no more. I got the workers. Oh, you said he crazy? I mean, you said he's not crazy? Oh, you must be crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. All these connotations, negative connotations, to again veer niggas away from the argument. You notice how not many people wanted to talk about the argument. Ye saying these contracts, put in metaphoric language, put in innuendos, put esoterically, are raping black artists. That discussion never happened. The Kyrie, when he posted the Hebrews to Negroes, and people dismissed that as a conspiracy theory and anti-Semitic. How many people watched it? Not many people watched it before dismissing it as something. Nigga, like, and that's where I get a little frustrated because it's like, nigga, did you even watch that? How can I tell y'all about the game when I didn't watch the game? Oh, because you went to Stephen A. Smith and they told you about the game. Now you think you know the game? I just made this term up. That's a secondhand opinion. I'm never gonna have a secondhand opinion. You feel me? Piggybacking off somebody else's. No, I need the context. Much love to you. Hey, shout out to you, my nigga T Burnett. You already know it's love. Highest the vibes. God is the devil. Hey, that might be one. Hey, look, I've been here for an hour and some change, Ashley. I've been here for an hour and some change, so that might be my next. That might be my next Freestyle Friday. If I'll expand on that, we'll segue a little quick. To me, this is my perspective on God. God is all things, the creator of all things that leaves no exemptions. So, good and bad, I think there's an essence to good and bad, which we'll get into later. But good and bad, for the most part, in our human existence, is subjective. It's relative. A nigga might think, like, if I showed y'all a silhouette of somebody with a gun pointed to the back of a nigga's head, the nigga in a chair, and somebody behind him with a gun, about to blow his brains out. We might think, oh, damn, that person is wrong. That person's about to kill that person. That person is wrong. If I remove the silhouette and show the images, and the image with the person with the gun is somebody who was a victim of rape, and the nigga in the chair is a rapist, the person who raped her, we might not think that to be bad now. We might be like, yeah, kill that nigga. So good and bad is subjective when it comes to the human interpretation. But with the pretense of God being all things, if we're going to accept that, the force and the energy within all things, then as a consequence, God is responsible for good and bad from my perspective. But again, like I said, that's one of them subjects. We're going to need a whole nother Freestyle Friday to tackle that. It's only relative depending on humans. Cause my pretense though, like energy. I think the world is made up of energy. And that energy is the internal form of the external realm. So everything in the external realm holds an internal force. So for me, that force is God. So when a nigga go out and do what I perceive to be bad, God gave them the capacity to do so. God ain't good. Good is good. Now, but again, overall though, do I think God is good? Yes. We're all life affirming. We all, for the most part, want to live. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody might want to live, you know what I'm saying? That might pertain to what I believe to be bad. But as far as being life affirming, wanting what's best for yourself and wanting what's best for others, in general, life keep going on. Life don't never stop. So this whole shit is life affirming. So yeah, I do think God is good. However, the bad shit that happened in life, that's also God too to me. Then free will comes with the capacity to choose whether or not you want to do good or bad. But even if God gave you the capacity to even choose that, that God is partially responsible for the bad. Because if God was entirely good, it would strip you and everything living of the capacity to even do bad. But that our God didn't do that. Our God is everything. This is just from my perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like I give you my grounds and my deductions with energy and the force and what I believe to be God is, but again, like I said, some things are always going to be in the realm of unknown. This is me philosophizing. You know what I'm saying? But that'll be a topic for next time. Ashley, you threw that out there. Now you got me revving up. You got me revving up. You gonna have a gang of niggas? He's a conspiracy theorist. Gonna have these niggas getting me again, which is okay. I told you I hold the title. All right, let me see. Righteous, righteous, righteous. Do your own research before you comment on shit. You feel me? Righteous. Just, you know what I'm saying? And I had this problem too, like being intellectually lazy. I might see a meme or I might see something and then I use that as confirmation bias to my own perspective and I might post that or I might use that to support my own theory when it's not a lot of evidence. So, you know what I'm saying? Just being intellectually responsible and respecting intelligence and information for what it is, having the capacity to grow people and lead people towards the truth. I think truth is next to God too. So if you know the truth, you can do better for yourself. Yeah, no, man, research some shit before you just spew some shit out. We're in a realm where people like, I don't know why people think their opinion matters just because it's theirs. Oh, your opinion matter when there's some material evidence that can propel it. Aside from that, it's just an opinion. Opinions is like assholes, so who gives a shit? And with that being said, you know what I'm saying? We've been for an hour 22. I think I touched on the essence of conspiracy theory. If I could double back again, a conspiracy theorist is somebody trying to explain an incident where conspiring may have happened. That's all. There's nothing bad, nothing good about that. And a conspiracy is a secret plan by a group to do something. Nothing bad or good about that. So we're gonna strip today in Daniel's world. We're gonna strip that thought that being a conspiracy theorist is automatically a negative association with your character. It's not. It's just a person being skeptical about some shit. With that being said, man, the hour 30, Freestyle Friday, the first one. Thank everybody for coming. Much love. I'm gonna keep this video on my Facebook and my YouTube. We'll be back next week for more. And Sunday with my boy Scotty, we'll be doing a Sunday breakfast to just expand on other subjects and permeate that light and that vibration. You feel me? That being said, I'm about to go eat dinner. Ashley, much love to you. I'm gonna tap in with you too soon enough. Forgive me for being delinquent in regards to that. I know I said I was supposed to do that uh, earlier, but no excuses. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tap in with you soon enough. That being said, highs to vibes. Much love to everybody. Peace.